Anne and Simon on Loving Life Now for today's topic, Hidden Context.
Hidden Context.
And I'm going to do some sharing why you can get us started.
Excellent. Well, good evening and welcome to our Facebook Live for this week. We are live on Loving Life Now and we'd love to welcome you to the stream. So as you join us on the stream this evening, pop your details in the comments. Let us know where you're streaming in from. We would love to welcome you. So who have we got out there joining us this evening? G'day, Kay, all the way, good morning, all the way early in Boston in the US. Thanks for joining us, Kay. Great to have you here. Who else has joined us? As you come on board, pop your details in the comments and let us know where you're streaming in from. Cheryl Mapp, hello, Cheryl. Cheryl's in wet Sydney. We've experienced a bit of a wet over the last week.
That's for sure.
We'll talk about that shortly.
Crazy.
So good evening, welcome. Peggy's just joined us all the way over there in WA. Hello, Peggy. Welcome to the stream. And we're also going live over to the side of us on TikTok. So hi to everyone on TikTok.
Hello, guys.
So if you're watching us right here on Facebook on Leanne's Loving Life Now Facebook page, David Miller, good evening. Welcome, Dave, from South Australia. We've got Willem. Hello from Adelaide, Willem said. G'day, Willem. Hope the weather's good down there in Adelaide. Laurie Armstrong, hello, good evening from Yeppoon in North Queensland. G'day, Laurie. Great to have you here. Kim, hello to you from a very soggy Gold Coast. It is indeed. You're down the road from us in Robina. Yeah. Welcome, Kim.
It was good for a few hours today. It was
sunny.
The sun was
I popped out in the backyard to pick up some mangoes, I was going to say. Pick up the passion fruit.
You should have picked up some mangoes.
I was picking up the passion fruit that had fallen off the vine in all the weather, and the lawn is so wet.
You were sinking.
Like I was sinking into the lawn, and it's just muddy and mush underfoot. So certainly going to take a while to dry out. Our lawnmower guy said, I can come tomorrow. And I said, well, good luck with that. I said, it's pretty wet underfoot. So
I think anyway, it's good for the front lawn, not the back lawn.
So thanks for joining us, Kim, from a soggy Gold Coast. And it's still raining.
Well, it started again.
Yeah, it's just raining before.
I've just got to do one more.
So if you've joined us on TikTok, thanks for joining us. We are doing a Facebook Live, and we're streaming live across on TikTok as well on Leanne's Loving Life Now TikTok profile. So, but this is a Facebook Live, so we're 100% here on Facebook. But if you're on TikTok, you're certainly welcome to watch. If you want to interact, come and join us on Facebook. And we've got a great personal development topic this evening called Hidden Context.
All right, we're ready to get started.
Hidden Context. So, yeah, we've got more people joining us. Joe Newland. Hello, Joe.
All right, I think intros are done. We're ready to get into the topic. We've got a big topic today. It's actually so big that we're going to split it into two.
We are.
So we're going to do part one today, part two next week.
Yeah, this week's part one. I started writing it out, sort of, looking at what we were going to present tonight, and realised that there's so much content in this topic for this week that I just thought, you know what, it's going to be better that we split this up rather than trying to rush it. And
just stop banging the table.
I know, but I do this with my hands.
And the hotel, the camera goes,
You know what? That's the way it is. We're at home in our dining room, streaming on Facebook, and you know what we've lost? We've lost knowing how many people are here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not showing us.
That's weird. Anyway, all good. All right, well, let's get into it. So the topic for today...
why don't we talk about what's been going on first? Before we get into the topic, let's talk about what's been going on.
I'd like to just jump into it.
No, let's talk about what's been going on. There's disaster in southeast Queensland.
There is, and New South Wales.
Yeah, and northern New South Wales, and it's heading down down the coast. But to all those people out there that have been impacted by the rain,
and
the floods, our thoughts go out to you, and certainly we extend our wishes to you and your families that you stay safe and trust that you haven't been affected like the people in Lismore. That's just a total disaster there, and you certainly can't imagine what it would be like to lose your entire house of belongings in water that just rises so quickly. And we know that lots of people are being impacted in Brisbane. Lots of people being impacted on the southern end of the Gold Coast.
And all over Queensland and New
All
South
over
Wales.
southeast Queensland. So it's crazy. And I said to Lee, you know what? I'm really grateful we live on a hill.
Yes, that's for sure.
And we live at the top of the hill. So we don't even get all the runoff going down the hill. We're not, we're not worried about landslides or mudslides. We live right at the top of the hill, which is a great thing. And of course, we're safe. However, everyone's impacted in some way, right?
Sure.
And what did we have? What were we doing the other night? At midnight.
Climbing up in the roof.
Why did I climb in the roof at midnight?
Because it might have had some leaks.
Yeah, so we heard some dripping when we went to bed. Drip.
There was, I think, 6 different leaks.
Didn't sound too good, so I said, I think I need to get into the roof of the house to see what's going on. And the rain was that heavy that it could not cope with the volume of water, and we had some leaks in the roof.
And luckily it wasn't bad. So, compared to what else everyone's going through, it was just a little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all good.
All good. But anyway, it's a major event
yes.
For people, and it's important that we acknowledge that. Good evening, Shani in Sydney. Joe says gratitude has been endless this week. They're dry and safe, and they live in a country that is not at war. Absolutely.
Yes.
So there's a lot to be grateful for, and of course, that's why we want to get on here each week, and we pick a personal development topic to talk about because there's so much going on in people's lives. If it's not COVID, if it's not natural disasters, if it's not war, if it's not having relatives overseas, or maybe you're Ukrainian and live in Australia. Maybe you've got Ukraine heritage and you've got family that are back in the Ukraine. There's so much that goes on for people. And we always say in the personal development industry that you never know what's going on for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't judge others. And, you don't know.
And the cool thing that I've seen, though, based on all the isolation everyone's had with COVID and stuff, everyone just coming together and helping each other. And, it's been a really cool thing to see the communities and people coming together. You know what's
even cooler? Is that it took a war and a flood, and has there been any reports of COVID on the news?
No.
Has everyone noticed that all of a sudden there is no COVID updates from the government? Because
it's actually good.
Because it's all
good.
It's all BS.
Anyway, moving right along. All right.
Anyway.
So,
all right. So we've got our
context is our topic. We're doing part 1 today, part 2 next week.
Hidden context. Now, in today's society, we are systematically taught to disassociate our emotions, right? So we're taught to disassociate them with our circumstances.
Yep.
So we've got to disassociate our emotions with our circumstances. Now, we're seeing increasing numbers of people turn to things, Lee. What are they turning to?
Legal and illegal drugs.
Yep. And that's in an attempt to change their emotional state.
Yeah.
So people turn to legal and illegal drugs, right, to change their emotional state. Tony Robbins encourages people, and Tony Robbins is a well-known personal development coach, speaker,
guru, whatever you want to call
it. Yeah. We don't believe in necessarily people being gurus.
No, but people call him that.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with Tony Robbins, he encourages people to learn to change their state, right? So a state is a mental state. It's a mindset. It's a state of being, right? Who are you being? So personal development, spirituality and religion are what people turn to find a better emotional state. Yep. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
So if people are going through challenges, sometimes they turn to personal development. Sometimes they turn to religion of their choice, right? There's various religions out there. And sometimes they just turn to being more spiritual, right? Have a spiritual awareness about what's going on, or it's a spiritual awareness in their life. And people use that to find that better emotional state in their life.
Yeah. Rather than using the drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's many things that go on in life. Kids show up at school every day, and, a child can show up at school and be anxious and be distracted. And what happens, Lee?
They get labelled. With ADD, ADHD, or, whatever, learning what do they call it? Learning disabilities or whatever.
And then what happens? They can be medicated, right? Because all of a sudden they've been anxious, they've been distracted, they tick the boxes, they get labelled, and when people get labelled, they want to medicate them.
When they get medicated, then they once again can't concentrate or anything because they're too foggy.
Well, it's a way to control their emotional state, right? So we're talking about there's hidden context behind everything in life that we do, and sometimes people mask their emotional state rather than learning to deal with their emotions. And I think it's a big learning curve. You remember growing up as a teenager, one of the things as a teenager is learning to manage your emotional state. Would you agree?
Yes. That's a big thing as a teenager.
Yeah, so you've got to manage your emotional state as you come into adulthood and puberty.
You don't want to be a child, but you're not an adult, and people don't treat you like an adult. They treat you like a child, and you know.
And then you've got to manage your emotional state around your friends.
Yep.
And the people that you...
And your parents that are telling you can't do things you want to do.
That's right. So there's a lot to managing your emotional state. And then, of course, you can go through life and get into your midlife.
Yep.
Right? So
Am I there yet?
Are you there yet?
What age is midlife?
Well, what are they? I don't know. Well, it depends where you want to live to.
Tell us, what age do you think midlife is?
Well, at 51, I would say I'm midlife. Do you reckon that's midlife?
Yeah, 50, 100, 50,
yeah. I'm going to live to 100. So,
all right, we'll go with 50.
So at midlife, right, in midlife, what happens is that you reach a time in your life where things just become boring. They become monotonous.
Right.
Right?
So that's why you have a midlife crisis.
That's what people say. It's not what I say, right?
You're not having that one of those, are you?
No. But it's what people say.
Someone over here said 40. So I'm past.
Well, you're past it. Well, you're in your midlife. So once you pass 40, you're in midlife, right?
Right, okay.
So midlife is where you make changes. Life becomes a bit monotonous for some people, and they decide that they want more excitement in their life.
Do you need more excitement in your life?
No, I've got lots.
Okay, good.
I've got lots of excitement in my life.
No midlife crisis for you then.
I've got lots of excitement in my life. We do lots of exciting things. But a lot of people reach out looking for something to fulfill them, right? They look for something that's going to fulfill that level of excitement. And then people label them that, oh my God, Harry's going through a midlife crisis.
He's bought a new car.
He's bought a new car.
Driving around like a 20-year-old, picking up hot young chicks.
What's he left his wife? And the wife's left their husband, and she's a cougar. And she's picking up.
I got told I was a cougar today on a live. I'm like,
really?
How am I a cougar? I don't get it.
So anyway, so in life, people go through all sorts of experiences, right?
Yeah.
Now, then we have corporations, right? Organizations, companies, big ones. And they create reward and incentive structures and schemes. And they also have punishment schemes. You know, if you don't achieve something, you don't get this.
Yeah.
But if you achieve this, we're going to give you that.
Yeah.
Right? So companies go out there and they create these reward and incentive structures. Why do they do that?
Well, I personally, because I like those, right?
Yep.
Because I see them as it drives me to want to create bigger things.
Yep.
So it's kind of like
So you like to have a goal?
I like to have the goal, and it makes me not more competitive,
but
more. No, it's not the word I'm looking for. The word I'm looking for is it makes me work harder and towards the goal, strive harder.
Strive to achieve something greater.
Yes.
Than what?
Because there's another, the reward is doing that, but there's a bonus reward.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So companies go out there and they create these rewards and incentive structures. And as I said, and also punishment schemes as well. And they look to drive greater productivity from the people who work in the business. Mm-hmm. However, they then become confused when employees do not respond.
Well, some don't, right?
Some don't.
Some aren't driven by that.
That's right.
Some are
just there to do a job.
Mm-hmm. They just want to get paid.
And they don't care about the reward structures.
Yep.
And some of them see it as a hindrance. Mm-hmm. Because now you're setting a bar, you know. Yes. And one of the reasons why I got out of working for other people 14 years ago almost was that, you know, I was tired of having the bar raised and the goalposts moved and the key performance indicators changed. And I thought there's got to be a way to work smarter, not harder, in order to create your ideal lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And you've got to be able to live life to its fullest. And surely there is, better things in life than you can be doing and creating for yourself than working for somebody else and making them rich.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the most basic human truth is that based on a person's perspective or based on the context of their specific situations, the emotions that they feel are perfectly natural and somewhat universal, right? So people's emotions are natural and universal. In other words, they're seen across lots of people.
Yep.
But it's based on a person's perspective or based on the context of their specific situation, all right? And that's the most basic human truth.
Yeah.
that everyone believes this to be true. However, people are left unaware as to then how to create positive change in their life.
Okay.
Because they just accept that this is just the
That's
way
how
it is.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't really have then the know-how to create the positive change that they may want.
Was it because they don't feel that they were in control of it?
It can be, absolutely. It can be that they're just not in control, but they don't have the tools. And that's a big thing, right? Is that we always say that if you want to create change in your life, you've got to find people that are actually living life and living life to the fullest, or doing what you want to be doing, or living life the way you want to be living life in order to create the change. So find people that are creating success and learn what it is that they're doing and go and model what they're doing. Be a part of what they're doing. Learn what they're doing and create your own success within that structure. And that's important, right? Now, the way we experience life and its complications is subject to the individual.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So the way we experience, you and I experience life, can be the same and it can be different.
Well, it will be different because we're different people.
Yeah. So we have our own experiences.
Might be similar,
That's
but
right.
it'll be different.
So we have our own experiences, but it's subject to the individual, right? Now, we have our past set of experiences that we've lived life by in the past. And we've observed realities, things that have happened in the past, and we build our life based on our past experiences as well.
And the beliefs around them.
So is that right?
Probably not.
Does that help us?
No, not
living
sometimes.
living in the past doesn't never help us,
Well,
right?
sometimes if it was a positive thing in the past, it may help us.
Sure.
But if it was a negative thing that we're dwelling on, then it might not help us.
Well, there is an answer to this. So the way to interrupt this will be determined by the way we view our present and future situations. So the way we disrupt our past is by the way we view our future.
Okay.
So quite often we talk to people about, where do you see yourself in 12 months from now? Or where do you see yourself in 3 years from now? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? And sometimes you've got to sit down and think about that. Well, if I keep doing what I'm doing for the next 12 months, where do I see myself? If I make a change, where do I see that life could be in 12 months? Or if I keep doing what I'm doing, where will I be in 3 years? And am I happy with that? Right? So the way we interrupt this will determine the way we view our present and our future situations. Now, sometimes we can have situations in the past that actually hold us back from creating something greater in the future. Now, you've got a story about a cat.
Your story's better.
Now, you've got a cat story.
Yeah, whatever. It's just a cat.
And
I didn't like cats.
What did the cat do to you?
It was just nasty. Nasty cat.
Yeah, so what did that make you do?
Hate cats.
Right. So you're not a cat lover?
Not a cat lover.
No, okay. So I had an incident with a dog.
Exactly.
So I got attacked.
Yours is warranted though. Mine was
I got attacked by a dog when I was just 6 years old, and the dog bit me on the back of the head and put its teeth at the bottom of my skull, and it opened its jaw on the back of my head and bit into my head, and I ended up in hospital for a month. Had something like 59 stitches through the back of my head, and fortunately, didn't go too deep, and it was, repairable. But it created this fear for me around dogs. And it took a long time. And even today, I'm much better with dogs, but I'm wary of them, right? And I know dogs can sense that. Dogs have an innate sense to be able to sense fear, or to be able to sense, somebody's feelings and how they're feeling, and if you're feeling uneasy or scared. So for me, it's been something that I've had to work on, because I can't let my past experience, which literally happened, 45 years ago.
A little while ago.
But it determined and shaped how
you dealt with dogs.
How I dealt with
the
dogs,
rest of your life.
right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we've got to overcome things in our past in order to move forward in our future, and it can be past experiences that we've had that may not be pleasant, and it may not have served us, and as a result, it shapes the way we are today. However, our emotional state is determined by the context that we view our lives through, and it's unique to us. So your emotional state, my emotional state, is determined by the context that each of us view our life through. And it's unique to us, and others can't see it. So you can't see my emotional state and how I see my life, and I can't see yours, right? It's unique to the individual.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus, right?
That's right. Now, people can act out of context to lots of situations. And often we see people acting out of context. People love to tell stories, Lee, of others acting in inappropriate ways.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they?
Yes.
They love to share stories. You get in a group.
You should have seen so-and-so, they blah, blah. And, yeah.
So people love to share stories of people acting out in inappropriate ways because they think it's funny, right? Now, some believe everyone is out to get them, right? Some people have that belief. Everyone's out to get them. Some are afraid that they will be what? Left behind, abandoned.
I thought you were going with like embarrassed or...
No, some are afraid that they'll be abandoned.
Oh, okay.
Some believe...
It's dog eat dog.
Yeah, well, it is in the corporate world. So if you're working in the corporate world, what do they say? They say it's a dog-eat-dog world, right?
Cheryl says, I guess there's no pets in your house, maybe a parrot or a goldfish.
Yes, Cheryl, no, there's no pets. And we like to go away and the kids aren't always here. No
I've killed fish in the past.
Yeah, I have had dogs.
And
I've had dogs.
Yes.
In the past, I've had dogs as a child and growing up and
the kids have dogs at their other parents' houses.
Yeah, the kids have got pets at the other parents' house. So we don't need pets here too. So we're like, we're good. You're good. You've got your pet fix, and when you come here, you've got no pets.
Exactly.
And we've got pets. Kids.
They've got pets as parents.
So some believe that everything will always turn out for the best.
Yes.
That's a good belief.
Yes, it is.
Right? Some just believe that everything will turn out for the best. And they believe that this, as it's their experience. So they believe that things will turn out for the best because it's their experience. All right? Now, they've seen this in others, all these things. We either see in others or we see within ourselves and we believe that it's this way.
Okay.
So people have their own opinion, right, on what they believe.
Opinions are like what?
They're like...
A-holes and everyone has one.
That's right. And sometimes, we know what it says. All right. So... why do we react this way? Why do we have these beliefs? Why do we react this way? Self-examination is a great pathway to understanding causation and control. So looking at what's causing the way we feel, looking at ourselves, looking at the experience, and examining what's going on for us. That's the best way to overcome things that are holding us back, right? And why do we react in this way? Sometimes we've got to do a bit of self-examination. What's going on for you right at this moment? Why did you yell at me? Why did you yell at the kids?
Because I was hangry.
Yeah. Why did you lose it at the dog? You see that. People come in and they just lose it, right? Yeah. And we're all guilty of that at different times. But why? What's going on for you? What's bothering you? What's the underlying...
You've let it all build up and all of a sudden it's like...
explodes, yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes a little bit of self-examination and reflection to go back and actually acknowledge what's going on. Like, what's going on for you? And acknowledge that. And sometimes we need to talk about that and share that with others so that they can understand. We can also apologise and move forward positively. Yep. Now, when people are feeling out of sorts, Lee, or they're not responding to the way that they know they should, it reveals that there is...
hidden context.
So I'll repeat that again. So when people are feeling out of sorts or not responding the way that the way that there should be, it reveals that there is hidden context. Like I'm just saying, somebody comes home, yells at the kids. Somebody comes home, kicks the dog.
Somebody comes. Don't do that.
Some people get angry, right? Some people come home, throw their bag down. Some people get home and they're in a cranky mood.
Slam doors.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's the hidden context? What is the hidden context? Why is this happening? And sometimes we need to explore the underlying context as to what's going on. And like we said at the top of the stream, we don't know what's going on for everybody. You don't know what's going on for everybody.
Especially with all the craziness and things happening around the world. You just
they could have a bad day at work.
Well, you don't know.
They could have got abused on the way home by some crazy driver, right?
Exactly.
Like you don't know. You don't know what's going on for people. So, treat them with a little bit of care. So doing anything other than uncovering the context or addressing it or taking new actions to handle it, Source will only temporarily address the issue, right? So if we do anything other than uncover the context, address it, take new actions to handle its source. So where did it come from? What's the source of why I had a bad day, right? Will only temporarily address the issue. Now there is a lot of people say there's a holistic approach to this, to a person's emotional state.
Yep.
And that is it, right? It's the holistic approach. How do we deal with it? What's going on for you? Why did you have a bad day? Why did you come home cranky?
Rather than ignoring the issue, you need to actually figure out what it is.
Yeah,
and
do something about it. And then maybe you can change the situation up, right? Don't put yourself in a situation where things are going to happen like that. Now, some people will try to manipulate their emotional state, how they're feeling, with everything from
meditation,
that's a good one.
visualization.
That's another great one, visualization.
Yep.
So they're two positive ones.
Yep. And then you've got drugs, gambling, and shopping.
Drugs, gambling, and shopping.
And I know Mel's on shopping.
I reckon. No. Yeah, I reckon you change your emotional state by shopping.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, Mel will agree. Definitely not. She's laughing.
Do you know? Do you know that shopping actually raises your emotional state?
Oh, good. I need to do more of it. There you go. We need to do more of it.
It's a proven fact that shopping raises your emotional state. Going out and buying something.
Mel. More shopping.
Going out and buying something and making yourself feel good.
Definitely shopping.
Raises your emotional state. However, you've got to be able to afford to do that, right? And you can't do it all the time. Sometimes you've got to have a goal. Sometimes you've got to set your sights on something and then reward yourself. So go out to achieve something, set a goal, and make the goal that when I achieve this, I'm going to go and reward myself with shopping. Right?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So
the goal's going to be this big, and the shopping's going to be this big.
All right. Now, some will manipulate this situation. Now, none of these will solve the problem. So I hate to tell you, but even though shopping raises your emotional state, it's not going to solve the problem.
They're still fun.
And neither will the drugs, and neither will the gambling. They'll be short-term fixes.
Yes.
Right? They'll be short-term fixes, and they wear off, and the gambling wears off, and you lose money, and then it's not so good. So, there's lots of things. You spend too much money shopping, and then it's not so good.
At least you've got something for it, and then you could
you
sell
don't feel great about it. However, it'll only serve to prolong the agony of the buried issue. So what's the underlying issue? And again, the topic is hidden context.
Yeah.
So what's the underlying issue? What's the hidden context that is creating these problems or issues for people? And that's what you've got to explore. So evaluate what's
serving you in your life and what's not serving you.
Absolutely. And how do you do that? How do you evaluate what's serving you and not serving you?
Make a list.
Make a list. That's a great idea. Make a list of things. Is there people in your life that aren't serving you? And what do we mean by not serving you?
Well, is it helping you? Is it moving you away from your goal and where you want to go?
Yeah. So if people aren't serving you, they may be a hindrance to where you want to go. They might be a stopper. Might be holding you back. They might be negative. They might be energy sapping because they're stealing all your energy because they just want to complain to you.
And they're full of drama all the time.
That's right. And they're stuck in their own drama glue. And there's people out there like that, right? And if you're one of them, then take a real hard look at yourself. Take a hard look at yourself and go, you know what?
I'm going to get a mirror.
I need to make a change here because this is not serving me. All right. So where was I up to? That's right. So you can, with the right tools, guide yourself and your life in a direction that provides a whole new context of your life. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yep. Why do you agree with that? So you can find the right tools to guide yourself and your life in a direction that provides you a whole new lease of life.
Because you're in control of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course you are.
Take responsibility. You're
in control. All right. So, but you need to find the right tool. Lee, when I came to this industry almost 14 years ago and learned about personal development becomes a tool. It becomes a way of improving yourself. It becomes a way of working on yourself. It becomes a way of holding yourself accountable. It becomes a way of holding yourself to a higher standard. It becomes a way of belief, self-belief. It becomes a way of what you stand for. It's about values. It's about your integrity. It's about your ethics. And all of those things you learn by improving yourself. So you being the best version of yourself in your life, because this is your life. So what are you going to make? Are you going to make the most of it? Because some people would say you've only got one life.
That's right.
Others would say you've only got one life in this body or this human form, right?
Yeah.
Others might say you come back reincarnated as something else. But you've got to make the most of this life and in the body that you're given to be in this life. So it's important. So you can find the right tools in life that will guide you and allow you to create something greater for yourself. So that's the end of our topic for tonight under hidden context, and this is part 1. And we're going to be back to talk about part 2 next week. Such a big topic and really wanted to break it down. So I hope you really enjoyed that share about hidden context and understand that there can be underlying things going on for people that you're not aware of, that are impacting them, that may be impacting the way that they behave, the way that they show up, or even their health, right? It can be impacting that. So Joe said, fantastic, guys. Thank you. Cheryl said, good topic. Thanks, Cheryl. Kay said, awesome from Boston. Thanks, Kay. And, of course, we've got Lee, what's coming up? We had a weekend away.
We did.
We were in Brisbane last weekend during the torrential rain. We went to Brisbane and we spent a lot of time indoors in the hotel.
We did.
Fortunately, we had a suite, so that was comfortable.
It was good. I braved it, went out for lunch with Mel.
You did brave it, went out for lunch, caught up with TikTok Mel.
TikTok Mel. She's not TikTok Mel, she's just Mel.
and then we went out to dinner, went to a great Japanese restaurant, had dinner with some friends and business associates that we work with. What time did we go to dinner? I think we had a booking about 6:45.
6:30, and we were there till...
Well, hang on. First of all, we were sort of thought we were leaving the restaurant at 8:30 to go somewhere else.
Yeah, but it was too late.
And then we thought we might leave the restaurant at 10.
And then it was nearly 12.
And then it was midnight by the time
we were the only ones in the restaurant for about an hour and a half.
But they were happy for us to be there. We were spending money and they were having dinner and finishing up for the night.
Yeah, it was good. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. So
what else have we got on this week?
I don't know, not much.
Not much. Well, we've got a lot of business stuff going on. We had kids back on Thursday through to Tuesday next week. So busy weekend. We're catching up with friends this weekend.
Yes.
Kids are here. Rain's coming back to southeast Queensland. So stay dry. Not looking forward to more rain, but that's the way it is. Very tropical at the moment. Who would have thought that we're at the end of summer?
I know, summer is gone.
Summer's gone.
Summer was gone and wasn't even here.
Summer wasn't even here. We missed our summer.
All right, guys, we'll see you same time, same place next week.
You're wrapping it. You're really wrapping it, aren't you?
I'm wrapping it.
You just want to go, get out of here.
We're way over time, so we're wrapping it.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh, it's 8:05. That's all right.
All right. So, guys, have a good week.
Great to see everyone. Thanks for joining us on Facebook.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. And